My name is Jason White. I'm the host of Into the Fire, coming to you from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mentioned last night, and we're taping this. Actually, today's date is May the 10th. Last night, I'd mentioned on my show that we've upped our game big time. We've got Steve-O from Jackass, and he's kind enough to join us today. And so this is big. The most famous person. Actually, he went out to go put his dog up outside, and he got accosted by my neighbors. And I promise, I did not even mention anything about him. I didn't mention anything about him even being here. But they're like, "Hey, man, you look like Steve-O." And so then they started flooding outside.
Yeah. You know, I look a lot like Steve-O, just way older.
Anyway, so you talk about a really good guy, and he's agreed to come on here because he was telling me about his podcast yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, I've got one too." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "And you need to be on it," and he was like, "Done." So I
think I even beat you to that. I think you said I got a podcast. I said, let's record an episode of yours.
Yeah. It's super cool. So his podcast is Wild Ride with Steve-O, and he actually records those in the RV, right?
I mean, I have 3 different RVs that I record in. There's like very rare aberrational ones where it'll end up being recorded not in an RV, but there have been few of those.
Now, I know this looks like we're on a date, but the thing is that we were having a lot of feedback. And so based on that, I was just like, screw that. This is the best way to do it. So I know it's a little bit different. I don't know. You probably do stuff like that. It is great. It is great. It's perfect.
And like what that tells me is that this is the first time that you've had your guest in person.
Yes, it is. It is the very first time.
Because he wanted me to have a camera and him to have a camera. Yeah. So there were 2 laptops sitting next to each other, and it wasn't the 2 microphones. It was the 2 laptops. I think
that's right. It's a no-go. I'm just telling you that right now.
Yeah. So yeah, we're that couple that sits next to each other at the table.
That's right. Yes, we are. So I do have some special things in here. I'm gonna give you, but one of which I wanted to. I was talking to Doug Satchery. You know, he's the Spice King, right?
Cool, man.
And so I was telling him about he's got a podcast too, but he's actually part of this family.
You know, it's crazy, dude. He's got a podcast.
No, seriously. It's called The Nonsense Chronicles.
What I want to know is who doesn't.
Well, you know, the average length is only like 5 episodes before people.
Right. It's I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot, but it's also you know, it's the way the world is today.
Well, I was talking to Doug Satchery, whose name is on this container. That's their family business. And he goes, "Introduce him to my spice." So, of course, I'm putting one of these in there, too.
Cool, man.
And but anyway, so I'm saying hello for you, Doug. And
dude, I just started air frying Chilean sea bass. and I was like, I looked up how to do it, and you got to like put spice on it. So that'll be my new Chilean sea bass in the air fryer.
All right, so I've been watching Jackass for a long, long time. I mean, binge watching it at times, and every time a new one comes out and so forth, I'm always watching it. So I've been watching you for years.
Well, it came out in year 2000. We're creeping up on the 25th anniversary of the first episode on MTV. And the first 48 came out, as I understand it, in 2004.
Yep, that's correct.
So
yeah.
You guys are over 20 years.
Yeah. Well, we've been on that show for 11 years, which is we're the number one. We've been on there longer than any other city so far. And I don't know. I mean,
man, dude. Okay, so there's going to be some overlap.
I know.
In this episode, it's fine.
Are you talking about like maybe you're interviewing me a little bit? Yeah.
Well, no. I'm saying that I had as a guest on my podcast Lieutenant Brandon Watkins. Mm-hmm. And, I was asking him, I was just so full of questions about the first 48, how it works, like what the implications are on the way that you guys perform your duties. Like, are you trying to like investigate and everyone's like, oh, hey, can I get a photo?
And then happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And one of my big questions that I went into it with And I hope it didn't come off in like in like distasteful or disrespectful. But I said, like, you've got all these professions that are just notoriously underappreciated, underpaid. The school teacher, the firefighter, the police officer, and then you've got people in the entertainment industry who are like, generally well compensated, and you guys are operating in both areas, like, so it wouldn't shock me if you guys had, like lucrative contracts with the A&E network, if you had entertainment attorneys negotiating them, and even if like the revenue coming in from the TV show was equal to or more than what you're earning from the salary of the police officer. And he just blew me away. He said, we don't get paid to be on the show.
I like what you're thinking. I mean,
it fucking blew me away.
Yeah.
I was like, I said, man, like, he said it's treated as journalism. They're documenting us doing what we would be doing anyway. So it's not considered performing for the cameras.
No, and the city doesn't make a dime either.
So A&E's getting away with murder. Away with murder.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. I mean, so just to let you know, I mean, if he may have told you this, but the real reason for it is recruitment.
How about that?
It puts Tulsa on the map, and
we talked about that too. I mean, you should probably lean into the mic a little bit more.
All right, thank you. So he's more of a how many episodes do you have?
About 260.
Yeah. I've got a measly 50, or 49. So
yeah. Now we talked about that too. About how, particularly, I mean, it's always been like a tough deal to be a cop. It's pretty thankless. It's like criminally underpaid. If I'm not, I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe
it's getting better.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'll just give you, they just raised our retirement to where if we survive 30 years, or we could literally retire at 90% of our income for the rest of our life.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's nice. So,
dude, that's
but I got to tell you. So I was, you said something about the entertainment. Well, I mean, somebody called me, man. They wanted me to go on that Deal or No Deal Island, and my wife was like, "Hell no."
Why not?
I don't know. I was like, "Hey, I think we could."
You know why?
No, I really don't.
You were worried about the groupies?
No, not at all. They would bring him back. Trust me.
We actually have a live audience here. We're not going to be. We have a live audience that's watching on. So
no, they weren't going to tell him where he was going to be. That was the thing.
Oh no, that's a different show. So there's been 2 show offers, but
right. Okay, now like here's something that I'm cursing myself for not having asked. Lieutenant Watkins. You got like the most obscure, like old movies, like Star Trek conventions, like anybody with any like modicum of celebrity is at these Comic-Con, making like real money. Like
they have CrimeCon.
CrimeCon.
Yeah, they've got CrimeCon.
So like
I'm trying to get on it. As a matter of fact, they refuse to respond to my messages when I'm wanting to be a part of it. So if you're listening and you're listening and you're part of that organization, you need to give me a ring. Okay, send me an email, do something, because you need me at that conference. I want to be there.
I think that and Lieutenant Watkins, what a sweetheart. Like when he says, "I'm not money motivated," he says, "I'll never be rich, but as long as I'm doing this, I'll never be poor. I'm okay, and I'm perfectly content." And like, there's just 100% authenticity.
Yeah.
Like he's so genuine in that.
Well, I've never been acquainted with money, but I'd like to be. So
I think that there should be a lot of opportunity to monetize the profile that you've built with that show. Yeah, and I think that CrimeCon sounds like it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, man, I need to be there.
Hopefully this podcast is bringing in some revenue.
No, not a dime. But we're working on it. We're working on it. Believe me, So
I love you, man.
No,
Okay,
seriously.
So the name of this podcast is Into the Fire.
You want to know the story behind that?
Well, dude, I want to know.
No, I'll tell you the story. You're not going to believe it.
Watkins had not heard of the Netflix show Into the Fire.
Yeah,
the story of the lost daughter.
Yeah, I've heard about it since.
It's up there with Don't Fuck with Cats and how
Really?
unbelievably good it is.
Really? No, seriously?
Yeah, it's called Into the Fire. Something about the lost daughter.
Well, good. Maybe I can get some viewers off of it because of the name. But I'll tell you, my name, where that stems from. I know some people that know the band Saving Abel.
Saving
Abel.
Okay.
You've heard their songs. You may not know who they are, but they sing a mother load of songs that you've heard. I guarantee it. So there was a song that they came out with that was called Fire, and it's freaking awesome. And the words to it, I was like, man, that's what I want for my intro. I want it for this. And I knew some people that know them. So I was like, hey, reach out to the band and see if I could get permission. And by the way, I don't make any money, which translates to I'm not paying for it either.
Right.
And so they called them. The band was
so that we heard it on the intro.
No, that's why. No, but it was perfect, and the band was all for it.
The intro lasted like maybe a little extra.
I think on the intro, honestly, that did seem a little long.
It felt pretty long.
Well, we'll edit that down. Believe me.
I mean, hey, you know what? Like,
you're going to be my technical consultant. I'm telling you.
Rock it the way you do, but I think it should be like, it's got great energy. The music is great. It gets you fired up. It just needs to be like, let's go.
Well, I had to. The band was all about it, man. They were all about it. And then, from what I understand, one of the wives to one of the band members put a note to it, and so. But I had to name this thing, so I was like, man, that's perfect.
You got Yoko'd.
I did. All right, so listen. You started out your life. Are you 50? You're 50?
I am 50 years old. Man.
Okay, so you started out. You started out your life, and you actually went to school to become a clown.
Yeah, for sure.
Barnum and Bailey School.
It was Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College. I graduated in the class of 1997, and I actually graduated in the last class they ever had. They closed it down after my class.
Really?
Yeah.
So you toured as that's you?
I didn't really tour with the circus. I was not one of the 10 clowns who graduated clown college and got a contract with the Ringling Circus. After some time, ended up getting a job as a clown on Royal Caribbean cruise lines. Okay. So I did a 6-month contract on cruise ships. And then after I got fired from that, I joined.
Wait, there's got to be a story to that.
Well, it really wasn't, like, I didn't get fired. I just, I didn't get my contract renewed. I worked in a little troupe of 4 clowns. And I wasn't particularly interested in what they wanted to do. I was kind of a skills guy. Like I would do like tricks, like acrobatics, like heavy on bar tricks, and I was all about like, what are we doing that's rad? What's rad about it? And I didn't think that these other clowns were very rad. And when they were trying to come up with stuff to perform that they thought was really funny, like I just didn't think it was funny. Like I just didn't really respect their art, and they felt disrespected, mm-hmm. And they perfectly fair. I thought that my job was totally safe because I was out there like really being pretty rad. And I was well received by the passengers on the cruise ships. But what happened was that the other 3 clowns, feeling like legitimately disrespected, and I was a jerk, they went to the cruise ship brass. They said, if Steve-O comes back for another contract, we all quit. Yeah, it was a clown mutiny. My boss clown, who wasn't part of my troupe, he told me about this. He said that you're not getting your contract renewed. So call up your skateboard buddies and try and figure out your next move because you don't have this anymore. Yeah. And he also said that if I let on that I knew this, then my boss clown could lose his job. He said, I just don't like the way that, kind of doing this, like, I want to give you the notice so you can go set up your next move, but you cannot let anybody know, otherwise I'll lose my job. Yeah. So I had to ride out the last 2 months of the 6-month contract, knowing that these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I honestly, I was the a-hole. To be completely fair, I was absolutely disrespectful. Like they had.
I can't see that at all.
They had, like, I mean, this was in the 90s, you know.
Wow.
And there was a lot of drinking and stuff. But in any case, I was so grateful, man, because I part of my job on the cruise ships was walking on stilts on the pool deck. You know, like when the cruise ship took off, everyone was a big celebration on the pool deck where, you know, we're like embarking on the journey. And, you know, we're on the dancing on the stilts on the pool deck. And I just remember thinking, man, like, if a strap on my stilts comes loose, or if I slip in like some, like water or something, like falling down would be so scary. And I was just like hyper focused on the idea of like, oh, falling down would be scary. So I was just like, I got to do it. I got to do it. And so when I found out that I didn't have the job anymore, I reached out to this skateboard magazine that, you know, I'd been on the cover. I was sort of a character in the magazine, and they made videos. And I was like, man, I got one. I'll be on stilts. I'm going to set my stilt costume on fire so it goes up in flames. And while I'm on fire, a unicyclist will ride a unicycle through my stilts. And a skateboarder will jump off a roof over my head and threw a fireball that I'm blowing out of my mouth. And that's the photo. And then when the skateboarder and the unicyclist ride away, then I crack open a beer and tip myself over, pounding the beer, and crash on the concrete, and then go ahead and put me out. And the guy in charge of the magazine said that he liked the idea, you know, let's do it. I said, this is you know, so I on my own initiative, got the stilts, you know, like I spent all the money that I had saved on the cruise ship job buying a used car, and all the rest of it flying myself out to California to go perform these stunts. And they waited until I got out there to, you know, I found the unicyclist, I found the skateboarder, I put it all together. Like, you know, had 3 stilt costumes made so that we would have 3 cracks at it. Flew myself out there, the whole thing, it was a lot. And once I was out there, the guy from the skateboard magazine said, now that you're here, I don't mind telling you that we're not just doing this for the skateboarding magazine. We're doing this for a pilot for a show on MTV. And that pilot was Jackass. And were it not for me being such a dickwad and getting fired by the clowns, the backstabbing clowns, had they not done that, then I never would have gotten that opportunity. Right. I would have been floating in the ocean juggling oranges for tourists. And so, yeah, like it really worked that way. Yeah. And it gives me, the whole experience, like so many different, like the ways that things happened. You know, the old show, Mr. Magoo. Yeah. He's like, he can't see and he's walking through. And it's like every step he takes is like certain, you know, imminent doom. Like he just steps off of like a big building and like some girder beam comes and meets his foot. And he doesn't even know like what danger he was in, but he's just walking through life and everything's coming together. Yeah. Like that's kind of my life. And I look back on it all and think that, you know, like there's just some like guardian force that's looked after me, you know, like made everything come together.
So true.
Did you ever have a feeling that you were gonna? I mean, were you that you had a goal, man? You wanted to. You're a performer naturally, right? Sure.
I'm an attention whore.
Yeah.
I don't think that I ever believed that I would like succeed, you know, like
to the level that you did.
I mean, I certainly wanted to be known so badly. I have this like crazy feeling, or this you know, intense belief that our human experience is like a real cruel prank on us. You know, we only have one instinct, which is to survive, but we've only got one guarantee, which is we won't survive.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing here? Like, we're like, our mortality is such a confounding thing. Like, every little fiber of our existence like cries out against dying, and we know.
Yeah.
As I understand it, we're the only living organism that can, like, in a hypothetical sense, contemplate our mortality outside of the present moment. You know, so like, actually fearing death, like dreading mortality, is unique to humans. And so I think that the human experience is ultimately an exercise in wrapping our heads around our mortality, you know, kind of coming to terms with it. And I see different ways that people do that. Like, they turn to religion because it promises that death is going to be okay and there's wonderful heaven in the afterlife. And that's one major way. And that's never really been my thing. And other people, they're big into reproduction, you know, like the family jewels. You know, if you have children, then you're not really dead because your legacy carries on, you know. And I've never wanted to have kids. And then the third bucket is like, you know, the caveman's like, man, I'm going to be dead, but this stick figure that I'm scrawling on the wall is always going to be there, you know? Yeah. And I fall in that third bucket where early on, I was dropping out of the University of Miami and I was just such a failure at life. I was like, man, I just don't have the survival skills to make it. Like, I'm like, it's not going to go well. But with a home video camera, I can document stuff that's just so wild that after I die, like, these tapes, if these tapes are still playing, like, I'll live forever. And that's what my life really was like. It felt like this frantic scramble to like get my message into the bottle, you know, and it never ever occurred to me that like it was really going to work, you know, like, but I spent so much time like editing videotapes with 2 VCRs plugged together. And once I had to edit, then, you know, duplicating the tapes. Yeah. Like, just, it was just stacks of videotapes that I was duplicating and walking to the post office to mail them to anybody who might watch them.
Like who would you be?
To people in the skateboarding industry.
Oh, okay.
Like that, like my history was in the world of skateboarding. So
one of your guests was Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Right.
My first.
He's probably a good friend of yours, actually.
He's you know, I mean, we're not that like super close, but man, what a great guy, man. Going back to the, you know, the early days when it was that skateboarding magazine. This was like the bad kids skateboarding magazine. You know, it was called Big Brother. They were.
Well, that's where Johnny Knoxville, didn't he work? Johnny Knoxville was with them, right?
That Knoxville, like Big Brother really brought us together. All these misfits, and they went out of their way to be bad, like on purpose. You know, like they like detailed. There were like articles in the magazine, like they actually had an article, like the 10 most effective ways to kill yourself. I mean, of course they're doing it like for a laugh, but like it was like legit journalism, you know, like how to buy crack, like how to make a fake ID, like how to short circuit, like, you know, the electricity in the house, you know, like they're like, if you put aluminum foil over like a light bulb and then like screw it in, like it was terrible. It was terrible, but yeah, it was bad. There's a whole documentary about Big Brother magazine. It's called Dumb. Dumb, the story of Big Brother. I remember going to I went out to the premiere for it. You know, it was this screening of this premiere. I remember watching it and like having it all like put together in this hour-and-a-half documentary, which lives on Hulu. I remember feeling like just icky. I was like, oh man, like the genesis of everything that became Jackass, like Jackass is really quite wholesome. You know, there's like the spirit of everything we do on Jackass is designed to spread joy. We don't do anything like mean or bad to anybody but ourselves and each other.
No, man, it's funny.
We're such willing participants that it's totally permissible to watch us in pain and misery because we want it so bad.
Yeah.
And outside of that, there's nothing mean-spirited. There's nothing hateful. Like it's like a wholesome thing, this Jackass. But what came before it, Big Brother, not so much.
So did you, I mean, you some of the stunts that you did, man, were, I mean, really, really dangerous, and they looked like very painful. Did you kind of get addicted to the pain a little bit?
No, it was I was addicted to the attention.
Okay.
Like that's what I've always said, that I'm not a thrill seeker. I'm just an attention whore. And a lot of people assume that I've got like a tremendous tolerance for pain. And that's not the case. It's just that my desire for attention has always outweighed my desire for comfort.
Okay.
And safety.
Yeah. And I know I asked you this yesterday. What's some of the what do you still live with as far as some of these stunts that you've done? What kind of health issues did it cause for you?
You know, I got a lot of fake teeth. I broke a lot of teeth, and I almost attribute it less to like accidents where I broke teeth and more to just like poor management of dental hygiene and stuff. I'm a big proponent of flossing. But yeah, and like my fake teeth has been a big thing. I'm covered in awful tattoos. That's a permanent thing. I've got degenerative disc disease in my neck. It's not to a point that it's debilitating or painful, but it's a thing. You know, my neck's not like great. And other than that, I mean, I've got what's called Barrett's esophagus, which is actually like stabilized now. Like, but overall, man, I'm in really. No, I think I'm in better shape than most 50-year-olds.
Yeah,
like, a lot. I'm in a lot better health than most people my age.
And you've been clean for 15 years.
17.
Right? 17.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for you. That's great.
Well, thanks.
And Johnny Knoxville was a big part of that. Right.
Knoxville organized the intervention, which I attribute to saving my life.
That's awesome. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rad.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I think I read somewhere that you really credited him for
sure.
Together.
For sure. I mean, I've been sober since my intervention, which was organized by Johnny Knoxville.
That's epic.
And I don't know what made me willing to commit to this whole, lifestyle of people in recovery, because like across the board, like it's a pretty small percentage of alcoholics and addicts who achieve long-term sobriety. Of those who actually make an effort, like with the 12 steps and like, find a community in recovery, the odds, of course, go way higher.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm super grateful.
Yeah, and I can tell you. I mean, you live a really healthy life now.
I live a double life. I live a double life, but yeah, I'm on a spiritual path. I really care about doing the right thing. I consider everybody and everything to be an expression of the divine, like that's really what all of creation is the universe experiencing itself, like God was lonely as one thing. It's like, I want to have experience. So God divides itself into all of these incredible things that can relate to each other. And so we're all God, like not one person is better or worse.
Sorry.
And when you view everybody as everything as a piece of God, it takes away a lot of negative stuff.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I do. I was engaged to be married for quite a while. I was almost 8 years with a woman, and our relationship was really quite public, and we're no longer a couple. We run an animal sanctuary together, and we're
still.
Yeah, it's actually a new thing, but I'm no longer a romantic partner with my old partner Lux. I now have a new girlfriend, and I kind of like I don't want to really drag her into
of course, yeah,
all the public stuff.
sure.
I mean, I'm not like ashamed of her or anything, and it's just a weird thing, man. Like the internet's a scary place.
Yeah. So when you were doing Jackass and stuff, I mean, I was watching some video or something where some guy came up, handed you a Black Widow and you stuck it in your mouth. Did that thing?
Yeah, no, it was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean that's so. Is out of all those stunts that you were a part of, is there a couple of them that you're just like, man, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That was pretty stupid. Or
yeah, but the thing is that like the ones that I regret are really have much more to do with it just didn't turn out awesome. Like I should have. It's more often than not the regret is from not digging deep enough. Not committing enough. It's like, oh man, that could have been so great, but I half-assed it.
Yeah.
Now with that said, I mean, yeah, the worse something goes, like the more it's like a notch in your belt. Like going back, like I think, all right, I shattered my ankle like pretty badly, like, jumping a skateboard off of a wooden outhouse while my buddy crashed a car through it. Mm-hmm. And the guy driving the car was Danny Way, who's like the most epic legend of skateboarding, and standing right there filming it was Tony Hawk. And like I had to get 11 screws and all this stuff. Like that was a lot. I could probably go back and not do that, but it's also a killer notch in my belt. So.
Yeah. So you get essentially you get hired by MTV. Is that how that worked, or were you guys just filming Jackass and then selling episodes to them? Or
oh yeah, no, it was definitely under the banner of MTV at the time.
And how old were you then?
When I was 26 when actually I found out that the pilot was ordered to series on my 26th birthday in year 2000.
That must have been huge.
It was a pretty big deal, man. Yeah, it's so funny because the same guy from the skateboard magazine that I called up to tell him that I was going to light myself on fire with the stilts. God, I just blew this guy's phone up all the time. I can't believe he even continued to answer it. I was so persistent, so annoying. Yeah. And I was calling him up to inform him that it was my birthday, which is par for the course for me. And he said, happy birthday and congratulations. It's not a pilot anymore. They've ordered 8 episodes. So he instructed me that I should start writing ideas because they were going to come film with me in Florida like some 2 months later. Mm-hmm. And that immediately I should go through all of my video footage, like all my best stuff that I had, and send it into them so that they could acquire it, put it on MTV. And that's when I learned that standards and practices was going to be an issue because not one clip I sent them was allowed on television.
All right. Are they on the internet now?
Yeah, actually, you know what? You're going to be coming to my show tonight. And the very first, I have a pre-show video that's wildly filthy and fun. And the first thing in the pre-show video is what was too hot for Jackass. Okay. Because I've actually got, I possess all kinds of stuff that wasn't allowed to see the light of day.
Nice. Yeah. So, you still communicate with most of the guys on Jackass and stuff? Very
regularly.
Yeah, and just out of curiosity, and you don't have to tell me the number, but did they all get paid the same? Do you guys?
No.
So I mean,
they had a tier system.
Okay.
Which I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. It's tough, man. When you're negotiating contracts and you're doing business with friends. it's tricky.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just like anything else. There's certain people that are going to be more of a fan favorite and stuff.
Right. And I mean, it's I guess it's very similar to putting together like a wedding, so I'm not in the wedding. Well, yeah, no, you're not in you're at the wedding. You're not in the wedding, so I'm a groomsman, but I'm not the best man. There's hierarchy and stuff. That's the son of a bitch about, God divides itself into all these pieces, and we've got separation between us as pieces.
I gave him a tour yesterday at the homicide unit, and by the way, what did you think of that?
I thought it was fucking awesome, and as you gave it to me, I thought, man, Jason here feels like a legitimate professional tour guide, doing an organized, rehearsed, tour.
I should be able to charge for that. Actually, it's that good.
I mean, it's I've been on tours, and I've had the experiences, and it's absolutely, yeah. We got to find ways to monetize them.
I'm all ears. Yeah,
it's fascinating.
Yeah,
it's fascinating, and I remember everything that you said too, about the cold cases that are active going back to 1968, and prior to 1968, there's just nothing that you can do. Those people got away with it.
No.
And to me, I think that it's just so damn impressive that that 68 is the cutoff point.
Yeah.
Now you would imagine, common sense would dictate that 90 to 95 would be the cutoff point when DNA became a real,
Well, I'll tell you something. Since 1963, we've had 2,800 and some odd homicides that have happened in the city of Tulsa, and out of those, we've solved 87% of those, which is pretty extraordinary. Now, of course, the methods back in the day was probably quite different.
Right. And that 27%, as you go closer to near day, becomes or 87%.
Yeah.
That's the baseline in 1963.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to 1970, now we're up to 90.
Yeah.
By the time you get up to.
Yeah. And actually.
And then when you get to 2023, we're 100.
Yeah. Well, 2024. It was
2020, halfway through 2023, I understand.
Oh yeah. We've only got one open case right now that just happened, but the last open case we had previous to that was mid-year 2023.
Yeah.
See, but a lot of that's technology.
I know better than you, buddy.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, it's technology too.
Dude, it blows my mind. As I sat there talking with Lieutenant Watkins, I was like, it all just kind of came together for me. Like what is, at first I was saying now everybody's an attention whore. Everybody's posting everything on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and this and that. They're making it so easy to investigate them, gather evidence, but they don't even have to be posting on social media because the phone in their pocket is a GPS tracker. So you've got GPS tracker.
You're right.
On every person. Between social media,
more powerful than the computer on Apollo 11.
For sure.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you got the social media. You've got GPS tracking on the cell phone in everybody's pocket. You've got the license plate readers on every highway, every road. You've got CCTV everywhere, and then in every store. It's really a bad time to be a bad guy. Yeah,
it is. I mean, so I was talking to Steve yesterday, and I had him in the interview room, and I'd mentioned to him, I said, well, this probably isn't the first time you've ever been in an interview room or talking to the cops. And he goes, well, yeah, actually, I got questioned there was a double murder investigation.
Yeah.
But you were a witness, right?
I was ruled out immediately.
Okay.
I was ruled out immediately. I had, I had come back from some fraternity party or something on the campus at the University of Miami, and came back and like passed out drunk. I think that the murder happened like maybe more like 5 a.m. I was already asleep. Like, but yeah, it was a University of Miami football player and a girl, both like savagely murdered, like by a jilted ex. And it happened, I'm going to say 1996, maybe 95, but probably 1996 on campus of the University of Miami. And
Wow.
Yeah, man, it was like, I mean, they caught the guy like very easily.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that like, you know, serial killers are really tricky because they don't have like a tie to it, you know? Like if you you know, whatever the motivation for murder might be,
Mhm.
you know, like Jill today, and I love how you've got them color coded too, like in the office.
Yeah.
You've got the robbery, you know, you've got the
Like pink is for sex related.
yeah, there's sex related, there's the robbery, you know, like
And you were paying attention.
yeah, for sure. And like if you've got an actual like reason to want somebody dead and you're gonna kill them, then it's just about impossible to get away with it.
Yeah. Pretty close.
Pretty close, because like, you know,
Message to you bad guys that are watching. I'm seriously, think it over.
if you're gonna do it yourself and you're tied to the person with the motive for killing them, then like there's really, you know, there's no way to like to get away with it. So then it's like, if you're gonna set yourself up with your own alibi and have somebody else do it, like what are the percentages of like, you know, people who are contacted about doing a hit that aren't like, oh wow, this is creepy, let me like call the cops, and then like they're arranging the hit and they're talking to the undercover cop.
Well, I mean, you know, we have the dark web too. The dark web, which is really spooky. I've never been in the dark web. I've heard about it. I mean, I wouldn't even know how to get in there, but I've heard them talking about it, and that's where a lot of those people can be found. But I'll tell you what, you know.
And what's crazy too is that there are cases where someone does agree to do the hit and they do carry out the hit, and it's always like so shocking, like how low the number is that they got paid.
Yeah, right. I know, exactly. And yeah, for sure. So that was good. He went through the tour. He loved it. Great questions. That he had great questions and so forth. And what was the one thing that you really walked away from going, man, that was cool?
I mean, the big surprises, of course, that you guys not being paid to be television stars, that got me, you know, big time.
And I'll tell you, man, I know a lot of the other detectives, or several of the other detectives from the other cities, and I've been bringing them on my podcast. You know, and like a where are they now kind of thing. You know, what were you going to say?
The biggest shock, but coming away with it when you said that they'll follow you around. Mm-hmm. You know, of course, documenting everything. They'll have a whole episode shot, and then only with the blessing of the family will that episode be produced and released.
Yeah, and that's.
I mean, it's a motherfucker too. Like when you think of like some of the more compelling, interesting cases, and it's like, no.
Oh, I know. Let me tell you something. We've had some epic investigations that it's just like, boy. And you know that we don't really have anything to do with that other end. Sometimes we get, you know, the family will ask us what we think, and I'm like, hey, you know, this is your opportunity to showcase your loved one's life. I mean, in a positive light.
Well, it's more than that. It's more than that because, like you said, so many people are just like conditioned, like it's so deeply ingrained in them, whether or not they've had their own personal encounters with the police. Mm-hmm. They are raised like so. It's like the rule of law, the code of the streets, do not talk to cops, you know? And it's like, that's the biggest obstacle for you guys in solving crimes is that nobody's willing to talk to you. Yeah. But now you've got this show that comes out that shows how you're respectful to the public. It shows how you guys operate. It makes you guys known quantities, like beloved characters. And so when you come to the scene, people are like, I don't talk to cops, but dude, come on, it's this guy, and
well, it's happened a couple times. I've had some guy in the interview room, and he's like, man, I was going to lie to you, but I already know you're going to figure it out, so I'm just going to tell you.
It's great.
Like, please, yes.
So what it's done, it's like, and I went into yesterday, like, assuming that, like, broadcasting what you guys are doing, kind of showing everybody your playbook, like letting them see, like, what goes on, like, in the process. That, like, I went in assuming that would undermine the efficacy of your process. And you guys, like, absolutely convinced me that it's been a net positive, that it's improved the relations between the police and the public.
Absolutely.
Particularly for you guys. And to the extent that, like, interrogation room footage is so commonplace on the internet, like, I guess criminals are just dumb and they're never going to figure out, shut the fuck up and ask for a lawyer.
We're going to, Amanda, edit that little section out for me, please. Thank you. So,
I heard about YouTube videos being demonetized, like, over that,
Really?
I think I've heard of that. I don't know if I believe it.
I don't know, but I don't like the sound of that.
Were you serious about editing that out?
So anyway,
Dude, the last thing I want to do is undermine. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I mean this, like, from the heart. I watch so much true crime that I can't help but sometimes wonder what the hell is wrong with me that I'm so glued to this murder. But I'm like, I joke around, like, let's enjoy a murder. Like, let's sit down and unwind with a good old fashioned murder. And, I think, like, what's wrong with me? But one thing that I really, that I think is very telling is that I just have, I'm not going to say an aversion, but I've got a real resistance to clicking on anything that says cold case file, because it just drives me crazy. The fact that means somebody is a murderer and just waltzed through life, enjoying themselves, doing what they wanted. Like, it drives me nuts. And the fact that I'm so, like, resistant to watching cold case, like, that's my little litmus test, that really what I enjoy about true crime is the satisfaction of people being brought to justice. Like, I know that I'm rooting for you guys to bring closure and justice to the family.
Yeah. And, I'm fascinated with it too. Actually, humanity is just fascinated with the fact that you said something about the human race and how we're unique in certain ways. We're one of the few species that actually kill one another. There's just not too many species that actually kill their own.
Wow.
Yeah. And I can't remember the others, but I know that there's a couple of others that are like that. So, but anyway, the Black Widow, actually.
Well, I mean, there's like a lot of lions will eat their own cubs, I think.
Yeah. No, I think lions is one of them. It's
lions will eat their own cubs. And
I want to say polar bears, but it's something weird. But yeah, we're one of the few species and so forth. I will tell you a fun fact, though, just to impress you even more about me. And that I've actually worked the third most homicides in the history of Tulsa. As far as, yeah. So there's, and Brandon, the one you spoke to yesterday, he actually calculated that up. So there's only 3 of us that have actually been the lead on over 100 in the city of Tulsa ever. And we're talking back since 1900 or 1907 when we became a state. But so I'm at 116, and Mark Kennedy's the older, he's the heavier set older guy. Yeah. So, but he's number 1 right now. And then, so one day, if I continue to stay in there, and hopefully I will, then I'll one day be the number 1 guy. And I don't know that will ever be beaten, because people of today, the younger generation, they're more interested in having a life, and our job is like a lifestyle kind of.
Well, right. And I mean, I suppose I should have brought this up with
and by the way, if you got any other questions that came up,
Lieutenant Watkins, I wish I had, like, gun culture. Like, may get it, the Second Amendment, this and that, people want their guns. But like low-level street crime, you know, like there's a saying, people say that I'd rather, there's some colorful way of saying that I'd rather be dead.
No, you'd rather, is it something along the lines of, I'd rather be carried by.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's exactly
That's
the one.
the deal, yeah.
I don't get it, man. Like, life in prison, man. Like taking a life, like spending life in prison. Like, you know, like I recently moved from Los Angeles to Tennessee, you know, and so like it's jarring. It's a real like change, you know, to like see like people I interact with, like they're driving their pickup truck and there's just a gun right in the seat, you know, like, you know, it's like, oh, like, yeah, I'm gonna drive, like, oh, like, you know, can I have a gun? Like, and I just think like, no, like number one, like there's crazy statistics that like people who have a gun in their house are like overwhelmingly more likely to be killed by their own gun.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Than ever have that gun save their life.
I've heard that. Yeah.
You know, like as soon as you know, like, I mean, now too, like I have guns in my house. So it's like, you know, I always had the position that I just don't want a gun because like, what if one day I'm sad? You know, like,
Yeah, right.
You know, like,
Or mad at your spouse.
Yeah, mad at my spouse. I just think that you know, like, there's the one thing, like, you know, overwhelmingly more likely to be killed by the gun in the house than ever have it save your life. That's a good reason to not have a gun in the house. You know, like carrying a gun as a, you know, a criminal, like way more likely to spend the rest of your life in prison than ever have that gun like legitimately save your life. You know, I just like, I wonder if there's a way, and I'm not trying to like preach disarm, you know, like ban guns. I'm not saying that. I just want, I wish there was a way that progress could be made in just like the pointless, senseless carrying of guns, you know, and people just.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wish that, I think a lot of the problem is that a lot of the individuals that we deal with, I'll be honest with you, man, a lot of these suspects, they come from one parent homes. We see it all the time. Because a lot of times I like to just ask them, hey man, tell me about your life before we even get into that, you know? And there was one kid that I remember, I'll tell you this quick story. He had actually was trying to rip off a car. And because in his mind, he's like 18 years old. He's not even thinking. And he just sees it as that's money and I'm going to get it. And so he goes to get in this lady's car. This lady that owned it, she was a lunch lady for like, you know, for the school forever, you know, 20 years. She hears her door shut. She runs out there to get her car that's worth probably $400, but to her, that's her life, you know? Right. And so she grabs onto the vehicle and the kid gets scared. I mean, he didn't wake up that day thinking he was going to kill somebody. He throws it in reverse and he starts backing up and she gets caught up underneath it and he runs over her. He drags her for like 150 feet, killing her. And I remember my wife was with me that night. We were out on a date when they caught this guy because when they caught him, he had dyed his hair. He's trying to get on the run, you know. And I remember.
So like he runs over the lady and then goes and gets like some hair dye?
Yeah. Somebody.
And so he's on camera in the store buying the hair dye?
Yeah, some redneck or somebody gave him some to try to dye his hair. And I remember when he got caught, I was a little aggravated with this kid because he was on the run, you know, and I was like, you're going to tell me the truth. And he's like, yes, sir. And so we take him downtown. Actually, she was with me that night. And we took him downtown and the kid, he goes, I'm going to tell you everything. And I was like, okay.
Were there Ring cameras? Another thing.
This is before Ring cameras. We didn't have any of that jazz. So this kid goes, my life has been over since I started breathing. And, my mom, and this is how he said it. He goes, my mom was a dope whore, and my dad has been in prison most of my life. And his dad was like in charge of the Aryan Brotherhood, or the number 2 guy in the Aryan, in prison, Right. And when he said that, I was just like, it really broke my heart, honestly. That's kind of my kryptonite, man. I sometimes it hurts me. It does. I'm like, man, what were you thinking, dude? I mean, and then when the jury came back on that kid, they gave him 57 years. And I remember I always like to talk to the jurors, and I asked them, I said, hey, and they said, what did you think about the amount of years? And I was like, to tell you the truth, I thought it was a little long, because here's a kid. I always like to give him a little credit for telling the truth, and that's what he did, and so just horrible.
It's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, because, and maybe this is just going to be like shitty and pessimistic, but like when, like say a standard issue second degree murder case, like you've got, like, I think this is probably, in my view, going to apply to just about every second degree murder case, because you're never like facing life for second degree murder, and maybe you're going to get like, 15 to life, or 20 to life, or 25 to life. But like, regardless of the circumstance of the second degree murder, like maybe you think, and I'm doing a bad job of articulating this, but I'll get here now. Like, maybe the second degree murder, like, absolutely should not carry a penalty of life. But is there any part of you that thinks once somebody who wasn't like a thoroughly bad person has spent 10, 15, 20 years in prison, that now they're a liability to society? Mm-hmm. Maybe like, maybe the circumstances around them committing the second degree murder were like not like 100% reflective of who they were as a person, but just what happened to them in that decade to 2 decades in prison really fundamentally made them dangerous.
Oh no, I think that's totally a possibility in many, many cases, for sure. Absolutely.
And I wonder if that's something that comes under consideration at parole hearings. It's got to.
I think that's very wise of you to think that way, because I think that's certainly the something to consider, really.
Right. I mean, and like, what are you going to do? Because, like, like,
I think of Morgan Freeman in in Shawshank Redemption, when he's like, that kid, I wish I could go back and talk to that kid now, and
right,
and make a different change, because I've never known any of those guys that are sitting in prison that are all these, we got a lot of gangs here. I mean, we got 6,000 gang members running around Tulsa, probably. And and they're all, initially, oh man, we love you. We're going to put money on your books, and we're going to be there for you. And man, you held it down, whatever, and those guys are never there. They're on their own. They're on their own.
And I'm glad you make this point, because the code of the streets, don't snitch. Like, I'm sorry, but anybody, it's just plain human nature. Anybody who's faced with decades in prison is going to cooperate. Like, if it's really important to you to not be a snitch, then let's start out by not committing crime. That's the only viable way I can imagine to not be a snitch. And like, the other thing that like is confounding to me in the code of the streets, that like, it's perfectly respectable to commit the crime. Where are the victims in this? Like, oh, don't snitch. Wait, so like the person who snitched is has violated the code of the streets, but the murder, like the awful bad thing is an attaboy.
Yeah, no, right. So you're out on tour. You're I mean, I looked at your IMDb, and man, it's impressive the amount of movies
thanks,
that
man.
you've been in. I mean, seriously, I had no idea you'd been in that many. I don't even know the number, but it's a lot, huh?
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff in my IMDb is probably like not that big of a deal.
Well, I mean, you were the voice in a couple of animated.
You know what? I was. It's on my idea board to make a YouTube video featuring all of my voiceover work in cartoons.
No, that's super cool. That really is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, is it kind of hard to get into the character? I mean, or
not even.
Did they show you did they show you the video and you just kind of talk?
No, I believe that the actual animation tends to come after. I don't think that you're voicing the animation. It's a good question, but no, you're in a booth and you've got the producers.
Yeah.
Like kind of, they give you a script and you're like, oh, maybe like do it this way. Or they'll just kind of give you notes and you just keep going until they're happy with it.
I think that sounds like, I'm interested in doing that. So if they're looking for another voice, man, let me know. So
yeah, dude,
I think it'd be cool. Something like the Cars series, which has been on this television set hundreds of times, man. Nice. It's the only thing that we watch in this house when my grandson over there is watching here. So, but anyway, so you're on tour. You're out. I mean, the girl behind the curtain. Is that the current tour right now? The Crash and Burn tour.
That is the current tour.
That's awesome. So you're doing this with Preston Lacey.
Preston Lacey, yeah.
And he's the opening. He's the opener. So
yep.
So once again, Preston's getting the shaft where he's not getting paid as much, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, hey, dude, it's all good, man.
But no, he seems like a lot of fun.
He's a great guy. He's a dear friend.
Yeah, and Wee Man seems like he's pretty cool too. I mean, all of them do, man. All of them are a lot of fun.
Great.
They're great. So how long is this tour? I mean, we're
it's open-ended.
Okay.
I'm currently booked through. Well, not through. I'm currently booked into October, and I will continue to book, and I'll continue to work on the show, and it's like just this process of evolution,
Yeah.
The show's in pretty good shape.
No, and I heard you. Matt called me yesterday and goes, "Where is he?" The bow tie guy. So. And so
I told him what I said, and I told him how you guys react. No, we're not telling him that. Yeah, he promised to wear a bow tie to the show.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, he likes attention too. That's why he wore it. Yeah, but no, he's great. I love that guy. So, but anyway, so you're on tour. If people want to book him, I'm sure that you can just go to your website right there, www.steveo.com.
Yeah.
And where's the Steve O come? Steve O, what's that? What's the?
This is drunk people screaming, Steve O.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like alcohol was a big driver of my early days.
Yeah, I was watching one of your videos that it was some dude that he actually it was a pretty good idea where he was fixing people's Wikipedias or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And he was questioning you about they were going through your Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia fact or fiction.
Yeah. So those aren't completely accurate, I guess.
You know what? They're notoriously a little bit spotty.
Okay. Well, since you're such a crime buff, here's what I want to do. Down the line. Matter of fact, I gave him. I've got a bunch of little things for him.
Cool.
But this thing here is probably the best thing out of the bag.
This screams mug.
It is a mug.
First 48 mug.
No, it's better. It's better than that.
Better than that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Detective Jason White homicide.
Yeah, it's
dude.
Not sold in stores, and that. But anyway, I got some other things in here. Like
oh my god, stuff. You know what, dude? I've got one that I don't know that I have it, but I don't. I have it in the RV in LA.
There might be a little copyright infringement on there, but that's okay. Well,
it's all good, man. When speaking of copyright infringement, like mug shots are like public record.
Yeah.
And I've got like a good assortment of mug shots.
Personal?
Yeah. Personal. Yeah. I never did anything that I'm really ashamed of.
Right.
You know, like.
Well, you got arrested for like peeing on some potato chips. Or something like that, right? So.
I mean, I'm certainly ashamed of drunk driving. Like I had drunk driving arrests. Like that, I'm mortified by that. And when I got my second drunk driving arrest, I just quit driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were to see his motorhome that's sitting out in front on the street, it's literally it's lifted. It's a 4-wheel drive Class C motorhome, and it's just
it's epic.
It's epic.
But I was thinking merch ideas, and this is a coffee mug. So I was like, what if I put a mug shot? So it's a
that's perfect.
Mug. Can you bring up my mug shot mug? Because I know I don't have one in my RV.
Oh, you mean is there a mugshot mug you have on your?
Yeah,
pull
like,
it up, Amanda. Try to find it.
When I made it, I thought this was going to absolutely like.
Will explode. That's an awesome idea.
And it didn't. They didn't sell it.
Really?
I don't know why. Like.
Well, I mean.
God damn it, Amanda.
Yeah. And there's a few questions that before we get off of here, I want to make sure that I ask, because Amanda personally wanted me to ask them, and so we'll do that before we leave. But so you got a mug. So you sell merchandise. If people want to go to your website, you probably have merchandise on there.
Yeah, it's pretty skimpy on my website right now. Yeah, there it is, Steve-O's mug.
That's freaking awesome. I don't understand why that wouldn't sell.
I know. And then I took it a step further, and I did.
Show it again, Amanda. My wife's wanting to see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I took it a step further, and I made that was my first DUI. My second DUI, I made a mug shot glass.
I like it. No, that's epic, man. That really is good. So, they're working on merchandising for me. Ladies and gentlemen, my viewers, be on the lookout for merchandise for me too.
Yeah. Dude.
So I'm not trying to make it. I'm trying to do something here. I don't want to. No, that's freaking epic. I love it. No, and that's still on your site, right? So
no, we stopped selling those a long time ago.
Yeah, you're not looking real happy there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty bummed.
So I'll tell you what I was going to tell you. Since you're such a crime buff, you know what?
Yeah.
If I ever get access to this, I've been fascinated about the Manson murders.
Okay.
Forever.
Okay. Like I'm glad that you.
That's really what got me interested in wanting to be a homicide. I've lived in Los Angeles.
Do you think that Charles Manson? I mean, I'm not as like studied on the Charles Manson murders, but how directly do you think he orchestrated that? I mean, yeah, maybe his followers were trying to impress him that, but do you think he said go there and do this? Do you think that?
Well, I can tell you this much: he didn't like how over the top the murders were. The first, that Sharon Tate's murders. The thing of it is, Gary Hinman got killed before all of them. He was a music teacher that lived up there in the Hollywood Hills. And so when that happened, they wrote in blood on the walls and so forth. And so Bobby Busely, I'm mispronouncing it. He's still in prison. He ended up killing him. And one of the reasons that they probably in part, well, number one, he was ticked off because of the music.
The Beach Boys?
Yeah, Dennis Wilson. So he was a little bit ticked off about that, but in some ways they were probably trying to do a copycat to be able to free Bobby, from jail.
Oh, wow, okay.
Do something similar to that murder, to where maybe threw the cops off, no, he couldn't have been him, kind of a deal.
Right.
But in reality, I think he was super ticked off, and I think he had weak-minded Tex Watson, and Charles Tex Watson, but I think it was over the top. And when he learned about how over the top it was, that's why he went along the next night to the La Bianca house. That's what I'm wanting to ask you about. So if since you're such a crime buff, and I am too, I'm waiting. The current owners of that house, there's no way that they would let us in there. All right, it's just not going to happen. But I'm watching that house, and the day that thing comes up as an Airbnb or a VRBO, I'm going to call you. All right. And we're going to meet. We're going to go there. We're going to stay the night there. And what we're going to do is we're going to luminol it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
How cool would that be? You know what I mean?
All right.
Just to see if it luminesces after 50 some odd years later. Because I think it would. I really do.
All right.
You'd be in on that. I know you would. So.
Yeah, I wonder just how many coats of paint.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not bullish on luminol working.
You don't think it'll work?
I'm not counting on it to work too much.
Okay.
It's the walls that you're after, right?
Yeah. But I still would like to try it.
Try away. But my money says it.
And we're not asking for permission either. We're just going to do it.
Yeah.
So
my money says it doesn't show up because it's going to be coats of paint.
maybe. I don't know. But I still want to do it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. It'd be epic. Anyway, so if you want to catch him, he's touring all over the place. Your tour schedule's on there.
It's on stevo.com.
Stevo.com. And oh my gosh, that's classic, dude. That's classic. So it's on there. And then is there anything else, man? Anything else that
Amazing,
nobody has
man.
asked you? Is there anything about you that people don't know?
It's there's probably not too much. I mean, there's like less known, you know. I'm a pretty open book.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what you're about. You're super down to earth. You're the most famous person that I've ever met in my life. So I'm really loving this. We had Tom Segura that came through the office.
Yeah, I mean,
do you know him?
I think he's great.
Yeah, no, he was great.
What,
You know Kirk Fox?
Kirk Fox, I know. He was opening for Segura.
Yeah.
Kirk Fox is great too.
He's actually going to come on. You know, he was married to Clint Eastwood's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that is cool.
Kirk Fox is a piece of ass. What was it that Tom Segura came by for?
I think so. No, he was touring through. He did it a little different than you. You actually wanted to come up there, and you called to try to figure out how to do it, but they called him. They knew he was touring, and they called him and said, "Hey, man, we would like to have him come down," and that's what happened. So he was cool, man. He was really cool. Kirk was cool too, man. He was really. He's a fun guy. So actually, he's going to come on my show. Kirk is.
Yeah.
Down the line, yeah. But so that's good. You're touring. You're doing your thing. And is there a possibility of a Jackass movie coming out? Or is it over?
I would imagine that it's over. I've heard that Knoxville has the itch to do something, but I just don't know. We're old, man. You know, I'm like kind of, for me, like, especially now, like I've decided, you know what, I'm just going to lean into it. As I've gotten older, that's kind of served as the context of my art. Mm-hmm. So like, I think that makes it a little bit more permissible. It's like, all right, now this is what jackassing at 50 looks like, you know, like that's sort of the theme of my show tonight.
So Amanda had a few questions that she wanted to,
You've protested SeaWorld, rescued stray dogs from other countries, became vegan for some time, and now plan to retire on an animal sanctuary that you and Lux create. Where did this passion for animal rescue come from? Great question. It began, my journey in animal advocacy began after the cruise ship job and the clown mutiny. Mm-hmm. Then I flew myself to California to film for what I didn't realize was the Jackass pilot. I spent all my money doing that. I bought a used car and spent all my money flying to California. So now I needed a new source of income. There was a flea market circus in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, near where I lived with my sister. And I went and got hired there. At that flea market circus, they had 3 elephants and a tiger. And from my perspective, the treatment of those 3 elephants and definitely the tiger were upsetting. I felt upset about that. I developed extremely passionate feelings about the treatment of animals in circuses. And when I got a platform through Jackass, I spoke up about animals in the circus. I mean, I was very much a meat eater, like I'm saying, very unevolved in every other area of my life. That was just my one little topic that I was passionate about. And when I went on a rant about the animals in the circus, I was contacted by this wonderful lady named Michelle Cho, who worked for PETA. She said, I saw you say this during this interview. Could I get you to say that for PETA? So I agreed, recorded this thing for PETA. And, they came over to my apartment at the time. As they were breaking down the cameras, I said to Michelle Cho from PETA that, one might consider it hypocritical that I just did an interview for PETA while sitting on a leather sofa. But I defend that because I just eat meat, and like kind of like the respect for animals that the Native Americans always had, that you use the whole animal. If you eat the meat, then you should use the hide. Like that's my belief. I said, but I don't eat mink, so you'll never see me wear a mink coat. And this is my rationale. So Michelle Cho from PETA, she said, oh, wow, that's great. Would you be interested in doing another campaign? We've got I'd rather be naked than wear fur. I was like, yeah, get naked for fur. So then I did that campaign. And I had this relationship with Michelle Cho that like kind of on an issue by issue basis. I did one thing and then another thing, but it was just issue by issue, one step in front of the other. Then I ended up this is like giving up meat except for fish. And then I got clean and sober. And after I got out of rehab, I moved into this halfway house. I had this really dingy, disgusting bed, and the pillows were gross. I thought, I'm going to Target. I'm going to buy myself new pillows. There I was in Target, and I noticed that the pillows had some had feathers, like down feathers, and some didn't have feathers. And I thought, well, what's this all about? So I called up Michelle Cho. I asked her, Michelle, are pillows with feathers cruel? And she said, they are absolutely cruel, so cruel. They're ripping these feathers out of these birds, and then they just let them grow back, and then they rip them out again. Like it's like unbelievably cruel. And I was like, wow, thanks for letting me know. And I made this choice to buy the pillow that did not have feathers in it. And by making that choice, it built up my self-esteem, like I just felt really good about myself because I made a choice motivated by compassion. And like, then I was like, at that point, I just thought, wow, this is great. I can like almost engineer the way that I feel about myself by making choices motivated by compassion, and love. And so I just found myself becoming more quick to do that and do more for animals. And then now, fast forward, what's been almost a full 20 years of me knowing Michelle Cho. Michelle Cho is now an official board member on my official 501c3 nonprofit animal sanctuary.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
And where is that?
It's in Tennessee.
Okay.
Lux is a board member. I'm a board member. Michelle Cho is a board member. And it's just, it's really cool, man. It's super exciting.
Cool.
And the just to say to the protesting sea world, like and the being a vegan, I'm back on seafood. I believe that it's like kind of healthy for me, like more than like all the heavily processed fake meat and stuff. And like I don't have an issue with wild caught seafood. What I have a real problem with is factory farming, like the animal agriculture, where these animals just have horrible lives and in these horrible conditions. But my approach to animal advocacy at this point is not one of like pointing fingers and shaming people, like I'm really more into just speaking about how choosing to be motivated by compassion has benefited me.
Okay.
Like I'm more like positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement.
Yeah.
So
No, that's good.
my days of being a protester I would say, are behind me.
All right.
I'm more of a promoter of compassion at this point.
Good. You ever get sick of getting recognized?
Sure.
Do you?
I mean, it's all I ever wanted was to get recognized.
I mean, is it like that? I mean, you just can't go. You can't just go. If we went to the mall right now,
it's tough.
It'd be insane, right?
Yeah, like I am public property. And again, like God is everything and everybody. You know, like we are all an exercise in God experiencing itself.
Okay.
And so, like, when you view everything and everybody as an exercise in God experiencing itself, then you've got to have an inherent respect for the divine in everybody and everything. And then that makes you feel like, okay, we are all one thing. We're all eyes in the same head. Let me value this person. I try to value every encounter that I have with everybody. But it's also a lot. And so I'm public property, and I know that I have to I owe it to everybody I meet to really care about the encounter with them. But once I'm like in my hotel room or in my RV, like, I don't like people banging on my RV.
No.
I'm like, hey, I'm a public property, but when I'm in here, no.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, how do they know it's you?
It's like one of my RVs that I use as a tour bus is not this one, and it's wrapped with.
Oh. So you're probably getting people waiting.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
it's a little tough one, but yeah. So yeah, okay. So you've commented about not feeling comfortable in your own skin and feeling you would never amount to anything, but yet you've always had this need to entertain, seeking attention, even going literally clown college. How do you reconcile these two personality traits? I don't think they're different. I think, like a fundamental feeling uncomfortable in your own skin. I consider that a trait of alcoholism. And, uncomfortable in my own skin, feeling like somehow like unworthy of love. Like there's a component of that. And, that's what the entertainer does. They seek to be loved. Like they put themselves out there, like, please give me affection, give me love. Yeah. And that's kind of seeking to find a way to be comfortable. Yeah. So I don't think that those are separate personality traits at all.
And then finally,
why do you think you're so hard on yourself? That's a great question. You hear people say, if anybody else was as mean to somebody as I am myself, But then again, like, I also feel like it's good to hold yourself to a pretty high standard too. Mm-hmm. With people so quick to be offended by everything nowadays, we were all concerned with going back on the road with a new comedy show. Nah, like the spirit of what I do is not much to be offended by.
Do you know Dave Chappelle?
I don't know him well. I've met him before.
Yeah. I mean, I watched that deal where, he was really candid about, it was one of his performances, and he was talking about that situation and then talking about that. I think it was I'm trying to think if it was a trans somebody, but he let him perform, and he said, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He says it's freaking awful. It was horrible.
Right.
But he came to really like that. And that person committed suicide. But yeah. So I mean, is that? I haven't seen your routine, so I'm excited to see it tonight. What is? I mean, is there? You probably. I mean, do you do the old kind? I mean, what kind of comedy are you doing?
It's like a Jackass movie meets a stand-up comedy show. And the multimedia component is all stuff that I've filmed exclusively for this show. So It's not like I'm not like repurposing or recycling old stuff.
Yeah.
Like everything's all new. And like it's me walking you through my attempt to meet the standard of the entertainment I've provided in the past now that I'm older and the bar is so much higher. So it's wild and crazy. Irreverent and shocking. I go out of my way to be pretty shocking and
good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I am. I'm looking forward to it. Man, thanks a lot.
Dude, thank you.
Seriously, buddy.
Yeah, man.
I think I'm gonna tell people that you're my friend from here on out.
I love it, Jim. Me too.
No, seriously, it's awesome. You know, we get recognized a little bit too.
Sure.
99.9% positive. Always positive, you know.
Right.
And so, I mean, I did have one stalker incident, but I had to tell him, "You're not moving to Oklahoma," and stop sending me stuff. It was just constant and calling and all this other stuff.
So like stalker and like a super fan.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got a flavor, you know, and you can understand.
Sure.
Of course, I've got a magnetism that just sometimes is incredible. All right, listen, man. I'm seriously, you're the bomb. I have had an absolute blast.
Likewise, man.
I'm gonna be walking proud every day when I'm out in my front yard because I had Steve-O at my house. My God, my neighbors they're gonna think I'm some big deal. And
I mean, you are.
I love it. I am a big deal, actually. Thank you. I am a big deal.
It's a big deal, man, what you do.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I need you to follow my YouTube page, Detective Jason White. I need you to subscribe to that page, hit like, leave a comment. I actually respond. I'm not that big where I don't respond. I'll respond. And check it out. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can feel free to do that.
I follow him on Instagram.
He does because I asked him to.
No, that's not true. Not true.
But no, he does. And he's got 7.4 million followers. So I was telling I was telling my wife, I said, he's got 7.4 million and I've got 7,000.
Sick.
It is sick. Yeah, it's 7,000 is a lot of people. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have enjoyed this as much as I have. This has been absolutely epic, man. Seriously.
Yeah, dude,
seriously.
Sure, man.
He's been very generous. I'm gonna hang out with him tonight and just freaking awesome, dude. I'm going to have him sign some stuff right now. So these DVDs that I bought were probably next to nothing, but now they're going to be super valuable because I'm going to have him sign. And Amanda will get you one. And you don't mind, do you? Of course not. And then he's going to take some pictures with some people out there, and he's going to take some pictures with some of the people here. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, follow him on Instagram. And thanks a lot, man. Seriously,
Sure, man.
you're the freaking bomb. And take us out, Amanda.